Welcome to another edition of Wrestlemania season. Carl Coulage alongside Nick Maldonado, Mr. No Days Off. We got another episode going, and this one goes against my hit list rules and my hit list morals. But because I am a wrestling fan at heart, I had to do this episode. And I know I'm going to get a clap back that there are no ifs in sports, but I don't care. I do whatever I want. This is a one-time only fantasy booking episode, our perfect WrestleMania. Now, Nick, you had an idea that we do night 1 and night 2, right?
Yeah, so in this case, me and Carl, the bookers, are booking a 2-night WrestleMania card. You got night 1, I got night 2. And let's see who has the better card.
I think my card is better. I think I should go night 2. I think you go night 1. I don't know.
I mean, that's some big words right there. I don't know.
All right, so how are we going to do this? I give you one match and you give me another one? That's how
yeah, we can do that.
All right, I'll start off. I think we both have this match. So I guess, you know what, maybe you could say it because we both kind of have it, right?
All right, so I think the match we're talking about, it's the match that everybody's talked about for years, and we could have gotten, and we didn't, is Undertaker versus Sting. That was like...
In prime, too, right?
Yeah, so we could have gotten it at WrestleMania 31, but they went a different direction, having Sting go with Triple H and Taker go with Bray Wyatt.
I don't know, but why didn't they just have it, though? I guess they thought it would have been pointless because they're too old?
Yeah, I guess they maybe had a better direction with either one of them. I don't know the reason, but people wanted this in their primes when you had prime Sting in WCW and you had prime Taker in WWF at the time, and that just would have been
right. But I mean, to give people some backstory, at the time when the sale happened in 2001, Sting didn't come over. Sting was refusing to come to WWE, and his short-lived career in WWE, we clearly see the reason why. But that was the match everyone wanted, especially, Sting revamped. Like the Sting with the face paint on, with the full black and white Sting. That's what, versus Undertaker, I thought would have been a great
But
match.
hey, you know what? Sting's a WWE Hall of Famer for his 2.5-year run.
Yeah, well, clearly clearly he was hurt and he couldn't go on to have his career. But I think we both check it off and it cancels out. So that makes a room for an extra match somewhere. It's either going to get scrapped off my card or yours. So we'll figure it out. I got Austin Goldberg. Now, this may not be a great match because we know Goldberg can't hold anything in wrestling. It's just like his gimmick was great. But I felt like at the time there were the top baby faces during each era of the Attitude Era or the WCW era. And I debated this with my cousin all the time. He was Team Goldberg. I'm like, no, always Team Austin. He was like Goldberg with speared Austin, gave him the jackhammer, and it would have been over. But I thought Austin would have held it. So I thought having your top 2 baby faces, WCW, WWE, I thought that would make for a great match.
Yeah. So I'll give you one of my first ones. And a lot of my matches, I'm going to preface saying that these are all people in their primes, if not stated otherwise. And this match could have happened, and it probably should have happened if Triple H didn't, unfortunately, have to end his in-ring career. But Triple H, Kevin Owens, I think 2016 would have been the time to do it when Kevin Owens was Universal Champion, thanks to Triple H, who literally handed him the belt on a silver platter. And of course, they had to have the little Goldberg pop in there, and they had Owens drop it to Goldberg. But I think Triple H versus Kevin Owens easily is a WrestleMania match that could have happened and should have happened.
Oh, I didn't see that one coming, but that's a fair one. I can't disagree with that. Listen, I love Triple H and Kevin Owens, so I could totally see that one. Now I go to what you call the wrestling of wrestling, where you want to see a technical match. And I debated this, right? So I kind of, if you look at my notes, I scrapped off lists. I had Daniel Bryan on one side, and then I debated. Do I put Chris Benoit in there? And then I thought about what happened with him, and I was going to go against it. Then I thought Kurt, and I said no. It has to be the excellence of execution, the Bret, the Hitman Hart versus Daniel Bryan. That would probably be the greatest technical match anyone has ever seen.
That would be incredible. You give him 60 minutes in there, Iron Man match, done.
Done deal. You know what? You don't even need to make it an Iron Man match. Just let them go. Just let them both go. And the holds, arguably Bret is the greatest technical wrestler of all time. That's up for debate. But just to have those two in their prime, you take prime Bret Hart in the early 90s versus prime Daniel Bryan before he got hurt or whatever, I think it makes for a great match.
That would be incredible. So next one, again, I come almost in the lines of what you just said. It wouldn't be the greatest wrestling match there was, but it would be the greatest car crash that ever was, and that's Brock Lesnar versus Batista.
Oh, that's a good one.
I think that would just be two guys just throwing each other around, F5, Batista bomb, Suplex City, give me a 10-minute car crash, those two guys going at it. That would be incredible.
OVW originals, and what's crazy was Brock had his 2-year run, and then he didn't, and I guess because once he left, that could have been a main event. That could have definitely been a main event if you had there, for sure.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Here I go back to my, what they call old man or like a old school soul. DX versus NWO. I don't know how many members on the NWO you'll get, but the wild card in this is that X-Pac is the special referee because he's the only person to be part of the NWO and DX. And you have him in the middle, and he has to choose where does he align. Does he go with the NWO as 6, or does he go with X-Pac as NWO? I mean, as DX.
That could be good storytelling at the end, right there, end of that match. Who is he going to side with?
Yeah.
That's
like, for me, I thought that because, again, and that's what makes him so special is that I believe he's a two-time WWE Hall of Famer with both groups. And he's the only one, and again, it was the midst of the, for me, it's a culmination of the Clique, because clearly the Clique was, and they kind of were running shows in their own separate ways. DX was running it on the WWE side, and then on the NWO side, you had Hall and Nash, and you clearly saw them kind of signal each other all the time. So the fact that both of them were running each company, this will be the culmination of that for sure.
So the next one is a match that isn't as much of a fantasy match, because I do believe that we are going to get it. It was sometime in the next couple of years. Might not be as good as it could have been, but Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. I mean, especially if Cody has the WWE Championship at one point in the next year or two, that would be an incredible, a great match. But I think my dream match, I think I'd want current Cody Rhodes versus that 2009, 2010 like Viper Legend Killer Randy Orton.
The one that groomed him pretty much.
Yeah, the almost bald head Randy Orton that was just like that evil heel. I think that would be incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I think I could totally see it. And again, if you want to do a caveat, like I said, with the special ref, just throw in Ted DiBiase as a quick run-in in some way, shape, or form, because he was part of the group too. So I don't know. I kind of like that drama entertaining to it, to add to it. So, but it's your booking. I can't book it for you. So
no, again, I think that would be great because like a match like this is just pure storytelling. Like you don't even need a lot of matches need a build up to it. Not that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Here we go, and I have on my list. I'm a tag teamer at heart, and I've debated this back and forth, and we go back. Who is the greatest tag team? So this would be a tag team gauntlet match to determine who is the greatest tag team of all time. You have the New Day, Usos, FTR, Young Bucks, Hardys, Dudleys, Edge, and Christian in a tag team gauntlet match. And the winner is crowned the greatest tag team in wrestling history.
That would be, I mean, who's booking it? You?
I know. I don't know. I honestly, I would let my producers book it. The fact that to have all these guys in the match, I wouldn't matter to me who came out because I know the winner would be crowned the greatest tag team of all time. So, and the fact that all these guys are kind of considered the greatest, just let them go at it.
I mean, you get such contrasting styles in that too, because you could have the Young Bucks in there, and then all of a sudden Edge and Christian come out, and then all of a sudden Edge and Christian in there with FTR, and like the styles would just clash each other. It would be great.
Originally, I thought to have a TLC match, and I was going to throw them all into it, like that's too much. And I was like, how do we do it?
An 8 tag team, 16-man TLC.
And then I said, you know what? Let's run the gauntlet. A gauntlet would be the great way to book it.
That would be good. So I think I'm next one. I'm going to bring the ladies into it, and I'm going to go with Rhea Ripley versus Chyna. Rhea Ripley is somebody that gets compared to Chyna a lot in the modern day era, and unfortunately, Chyna never got her true moment
because of the
shine.
Backstage politics.
Yeah, which is all BS. But I think this would be a good match, and the fans will be behind it, and I think this would be a fun match.
Listen, I'm all for Chyna. Rhea Ripley is doing her thing right now. I think it's awesome how she's getting her push, and I'm sure we'll have our predictions for Mania as we get along with more hitless content. But I love that booking. That's a great one, especially since I didn't have any women on my card. I'm sorry, but. It's good the fact that you had it covered. I'm going here as far as my next match, which is my 6th one. Chris Jericho versus Seth Rollins. I think would make for a prime match. These guys have similar styles, and it goes in that category of technical wrestling as far as like going pound for pound. I think Seth can go with anyone. I think it's great.
So keeping Seth Rollins in the mix, next one I'll go Shawn Michaels versus Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles. And I'm talking prime. Give me prime Shawn Michaels, prime Seth Rollins, and Japan AJ Styles. Chef's kiss triple threat right there. That right there, I'd make that the opener. Not even the main event.
Fair. We haven't even discussed the order. That's great. We're pressed for time. I'm gonna go Roman versus Rock. I think. Do you have that one too?
Yeah. Roman Reigns versus The Rock, which maybe next year in Philly.
Which I'll be back for.
Let's do return.
The return of the chosen one of WrestleMania. Let's do it. Roman Rock. My main event, Hogan Cena. That's what I'm booking. Hogan Cena is the main event in my dream WrestleMania. You get two guys who have been the most top baby faces in the company. Let them go at it. Common
thread, my main event, John Cena, Stone Cold. Give me the two. Again, almost the exact parameters of yours. Top babyface John Cena, top babyface Stone Cold. I just want to see the fan dynamic. Who's going for who? I think you'd obviously be like the little kids and the women go for Cena, and then the adults, men are going for Stone Cold. I think that'd be.
Listen, I'll toss you one producer to another, right? I'll take off Austin Goldberg. Let's make it a triple threat. Let's throw in Austin versus Goldberg. Austin versus Cena versus Hogan.
Down.
That's it?
I mean, that right there, that's 3/4 of everybody's Mount Rushmore right there.
Yeah. If you want to do a fatal four-way, toss in The Rock, but we could talk about that later. We're pressed for time. Thank you for watching another edition of WrestleMania season. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe to all Sports Hitless content. We'll see you next episode.